Hello, I'm Eugene Vietra, and I'm here to explain to you or give you some insights about using mobile devices on your adventure motorbike, which is something that we do more often, as well as it's the basis of our Rampage rally events, which is a navigation-based event that's following a new style or event format. You'll navigate using typical rally and Dakar style roadbooks, but on a mobile device. But because we've had quite a lot of questions, some concerns raised about using mobile devices in scenarios that might require rugged units, I'd like to quickly take you through my experience for the last 6 years, having ridden exclusively mobile devices, both mobile phones as well as tablets, and at least I can hopefully give you some insights on mounting options, device options, and then I'll quickly give you an example of how I mount it on my rally bike, as well as either of my two adventure bikes. So I've put out all the stuff that I've used, and just to show you, I currently mounted on adventure bikes a Rally 250 Honda, as well as a dedicated 690 rally bike. But you can do this on very much any of your adventure bikes. So my experience has been to use ram mounts, which is obviously a industry standard and benchmark. For that, I use either the X-Ramp or the X-Grip, which is great, but I would recommend that you use the X-Grip with its elastic so that the phone doesn't move or fall out. After that, I've ridden with this for a couple of years. I've upgraded to the Ram Quick Grip that basically opens up from the top. That opens from the top and you put your phone in there. This does not come with elastic, but I really haven't found that it's necessary. This has been my go-to mobile device grip for the last years. From there, mounting it on your handlebar or any bar on your motorbike, you can either use a claw or a fixed grip. Now, originally I used a claw, and what makes this convenient is you can obviously move your device from one bike to the other bike very quickly. The only problem is that depending on your handlebar thickness, this claw might turn based on the weight and the extremity of your riding. So in most cases, I end up just using the Ram U-bar. There's still a plastic here that goes in between this and the handlebar, but I basically just bolt this onto all of my bikes. So all of my bikes have a fixed ball that I can work with. I then alternate between a short arm and a long arm on setting up the ball. Let's say we do it like this, and that's basically how you're going to do your ball mount. Not rocket science, but it really works very well. If you start looking at ram mount for tablet, then I would recommend looking at this, very similar to this grip, this quick grip for a phone. You get a similar quick grip for a tablet that grips the tablet from the top to the bottom. We haven't had any issues with it, but obviously because the tablets that we ride with can be expensive, you do actually get a similar elastic that you do for this one. You actually get for this as well. So this has been most of the mounting, well, all of the mounting options I've had on my adventure bikes. This excludes mounting the tablet on the rally bike. So let's quickly look at covers and housings. Originally on my non-rugged tablets, I would put on rugged covers. These you can buy very cheaply online, and it obviously adds on extra protection to your tablet. And okay, after all the mounting options you've got, let's look at the actual devices. So starting on my phone, I tend to not use a expensive phone like an Apple or a Samsung, but I do work with modern phones. This is a Xiaomi Redmi, which works fantastic, and I've been riding with these phones. I use them for my daily use, so this is my own phone, and I use it for navigation, and I haven't had one problem with regards to vibration or sun or battery or anything in the last 6 years. Also from a bigger screen, I've then upgraded, and I use this Samsung A7 Lite as a big screen device, and it's really affordable. At South African Rand, it's about 2,500 Rand, and it literally does everything I need it to do. And then we also ride with the rugged tablets. This is a triple tech tablet. These tablets are used in a lot of rugged devices at the moment, and there's a lot of digital navigation using these tablets. Although they all come from the same thing, and although they might be branded, it is still a standard rugged tablet. The problem is that this is quite an expensive tablet, and you can buy 4 of these for one of those. So it makes a lot more sense to literally just buy this and maybe a backup if you should break it. And these are the options. These are the devices I've used for the last 6-7 years, actually 8 years, to mount my devices. Okay, as an example, I'm not going to take you through all the bikes. I'm going to take the CRF 250 Rally, which is currently one of our commuter bikes, and it's very easy to mount your mobile phone anywhere on the bar. We are currently testing this really great looking device holder from J-Mount. This is still in patent and or in production testing, and this is made from a certain size and a certain rubber where you can basically put your phone in, and it's quite sleek and elegant. Using exactly the same device from J-Mount, we've been given a tablet version of it that now fits onto the rally bike, and as you can see, it makes it really sleek and elegant to do. So I'm quickly going to put the tablets in and the device in, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, just looking at the tablet setup on my rally bike, using the Samsung device. As you can see, this is basically what it looks like, and to ride with this using the new roadbook reader is quite simple, and I'll quickly show you what it looks like from a brightness point of view. The bike isn't currently standing in the sun, but that is what your roadbook looks like if you ride it. This app also auto scrolls, so if I ride, I don't actually need any of my buttons. I can literally just ride, and it'll auto scroll as I go through the distances, track, and then also allow me to track the waypoints. So there you can see there's a waypoint. This is the setup that we use in our Rampage rallies, and I'm quickly going to show you using the Honda just with a mobile phone. Okay, so looking at the mobile phone setup we've got on the adventure bike, very simple, again using either the RAM mount for a simple handlebar mount. In this case I've semi-permanently mounted using the new J-Mount rubber mount, and this is basically what you look at. Again, you don't need anything changed on your handlebars because the software does everything. You simply ride, follow the instructions, pick up the waypoints, and enjoy the day. But this is what it looks like with that mobile phone. Okay, so the last thing that I'd like to address is just some of the concerns that we've had online with, I think the three main ones is screen damage from sun, and then also vibration, which is probably one of the biggest ones, as well as battery life. Now, in my honest experience, having worked with mobile phones as a programmer and an IT guy, the mobile phones, in my view today, is built extremely strong, very rugged, and far more than we realize, obviously excluding a direct drop and a direct hit. But what I have found is that the newer phones, the more expensive phones, come with very sensitive equipment built in. Mostly the camera has got stabilizers, and I'm not brand bashing or anything, but the Samsungs and the Apples have got fantastic cameras because of those stabilizers. So very similar. I think one must consider just that you don't buy one tool to do everything in your workshop, but it is fit for purpose tool. So from a mobile perspective, I always recommend looking at your lesser brands, maybe your cheaper phones, even if you have an old phone or a second-hand phone, to do that. I've never in the last 6 years used an expensive or new Samsung or Apple, and I think that's kept me clear from having any issues with vibration or cameras. When it comes to batteries, especially the Xiaomi that I'm using, has got a 6 amp battery, and that thing lasts easily 8 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours while riding and navigating. And then finally, sun. I've never had an issue with riding in the sun. I don't know who else has. I found that obviously you do ride in the sun exposed quite a lot. When I get to a place and we stop for a break, I put my hand, I put something on the screen, cools it down, and again, so I've been probably very fortunate the last 6 or 7 or 8 years riding with mobile devices, but I can definitely contest that I think a lot of development, maybe the original devices were less sturdy and less rugged, but I find really in today's devices, if you buy a phone of, let's say, under 3,000 Rand, maybe 4,000 Rand, it for one costs less than a GPS or a Garmin, and you can do a lot more. And then there's a whole list of benefits why mobile, in my honest view, exceeds what GPSs can do, and most of it is their availability, their affordability, the fact that you can literally get a cell phone anywhere, and also we know how the phones work, and there are hundreds of navigation apps to do. So I think definitely, if you haven't done yet, give mobile on adventure bikes. Thanks a lot for listening. See you later.